So, what got you into all of these other things? Like, was it massage? And then was it respiratory?
Respiratory
There we
therapy,
go.
absolutely not what I do. Um, so,
Oh, that's ISO? Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got.
first of all, with dance, I actually, in 2001, it was my husband, soon to be husband, that I met. He was my dance instructor. He was the first dance instructor, Bruce Montoya. Him and another guy, Jason, were teaching the class. So that was like January 25th, 2001 was my very first salsa class. It was salsa and merengue at the time. I think a little bit of bachata, so salsa and merengue primarily. And then I started teaching, or I started dancing and assisting them. And then I started teaching at the U of A Rec Center. But it was 2001, so September 11th, 2001. Bruce was also in the Marine Corps at the time, so that kind of shifted things. His focus became more military focus,
Okay.
and then I took over all the dance classes.
So, talk to me about time frame. Like, how long did it take you to go ahead and get to the level where you were able to go ahead and assist with it, with teaching, and then basically like kind of take over yourself?
I think it was so like new to Tucson, the instruction, and just my like I really immersed myself in it. Got it like went out as often as I could. Actually, there's really not very many places for me to go out. I was 18 at the time, 18, 19. So I would sneak into places. I would help the band bring in their instruments at El
Mm-hmm.
Parador, or I'd go there for dinner and stay. One time I snuck in through the kitchen. No, multiple times I snuck in through the kitchen. And one time I got caught. Yeah, so I loved it.
So it's,
So it
it's
went
it's just
from
like within your nature to dance.
just to
Like,
move and
yeah.
dance, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely a freedom I never allowed myself when I was a teenager. Just a little bit more insecure, a little bit more quiet, shy. So dancing kind of brought that out. Yeah, so January was my first class, and I think May maybe. So like 4 months is when I started assisting their
Oh
classes at
wow.
U of A.
Okay.
I was also a student at U of A, so I was able to get into the rec center, and I would help them with the classes. And then September, I was mainly assisting May through September, and then September 11th and like the end of September is when I took over all the classes.
Okay.
So whatever span that is, what, 8 months or so?
I mean, kind of going back to what you mentioned about confidence. You mentioned it was a little hard for you because you were a bit intimidated with stuff. How did that help build up that level of
I
confidence?
think just the skill level
Yeah.
is like learning something structured. Like I knew the one, two, three, the five, six, seven, the left, right, left. I could do that and do that on the dance floor. So it was nice to have a structure to just like movement. I think just free form movement made me so insecure and like being watched or am I doing it correctly? Where the one, two, three, left, right, left, I knew that was correct. There was some structure to it. So it could be like, yes, she did it or no, she didn't. So the structure of learning a skill was helpful for me. Um, and then of course implementing more styling and free form and just like flowing, that came second, I think, for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about any embarrassing moments or any obstacles you had while getting that level of confidence.
I think it's just showing up scared,
Yeah.
like just doing it.
Just pooping yourself. It's okay.
I did not put myself. No, not yet. Hopefully. um, but it's just showing up and doing it scared, being nervous, showing up to class where there's people you don't know, showing up to dance events and like feeling like the jittery, like am I doing it right, or like dancing with somebody and your hands are shaking, and then it gets easier.
Okay.
Then it gets easier. Yeah. I've been dropped multiple times. I have fallen on stage in like a demonstration because I used to travel and teach all over at these events a lot. So like being on stage in front of people was terrifying. However, I'd rather teach in front of 200 people than like perform or compete in front of many people.
Right,
Like
right.
the instruction is what I love.
Yeah, I think you had showed something about what is it? The was it China or?
I've taught in China, in Shanghai. I've taught bachata. I've taught a couples slap dance class. I've taught a couples massage class. So I'm the one who teaches like not just the dance, but also like the weird fun classes that aren't typically at events.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, man, how was that teaching in Shanghai?
It
You know,
was
different
wild.
different language, different.
Mhm.
I mean, just mannerisms, the way they carry themselves, completely different than over here in the West.
Yeah, the guys were so shy.
Okay.
It was interesting during the social dancing. The women would line up to dance with all the foreign guys, instructors. I was there with instructors from the US, from Italy, from Spain, from Australia. So the ladies would line up, like, they would wait 14 songs in a row until it was their turn to dance with the instructor. Where the guys
Wow.
would not ask the lady instructors to dance. Their guys were super shy. So it was really interesting during the lap dance and the massage classes how it almost gave the guys permission to connect and touch and like be open to that.
When it comes back to kind of you taking over that class, when was it that you decided, hey, you know what? I think it's time for Summer to go ahead and start off her own thing.
Um, it really didn't become my own thing. I was teaching with Bruce a little bit, but I know after, I think it was after, no, I'm trying to think back timeline where we started teaching separately. Um, yeah, I think for me, I are we taught very well together. We could flow with each other, but also I knew like I didn't want to step back to somebody, or like I knew this is the structure I wanted in class. This is what I wanted to say. This is how I wanted things to go. So I kind of, um, it's been years. So I think this was just probably the past after I had a baby and COVID. So that was like 2020 is when I kind of took things on my own, more so, more classes. Um, yeah, I think it's only been like the past 3-4 years.
So what were some of the stressors? Like, talk to me about financials. Talk to me about, I mean, maybe insecurities, your scheduling, because I mean, you're the
Schedule's
only
crazy.
person there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens
Yeah.
when you want to take a day off? Like, what do you do?
Okay, this is what I do. Which is maybe not very common, especially if it was a male instructor, but just my whole life, I kind of structure it around when my energy and my moods was going to be good.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
know that depends on my menstrual cycle. So like the week before my period, I take it super lightly and slow.
Okay.
I won't schedule myself so much. There won't be as many classes. I will rest more, all of that, because I know I'm not as patient. I'm not as kind. So I'd rather protect my students from that. um, yeah, so like I love to work. I love to teach, whether it's massage or breathwork or dance, that sometimes I'll go like 60 something days and without like, oh, I haven't had a full day off. Like even if
Wow.
it's like one massage or one dance class, it's like I love it so much that it never feels like work. So I'll schedule something,
Right, right.
and I'm like, I haven't had a full day to myself in like 2+ months.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is nice that I love it so much. But then like, even for me to separate myself from like a rest day to like go do a massage or like
Right.
go do a dance class, it's
Yeah.
still kind of service to somebody else.
Right, right.
Yeah.
How does that affect your personal life, you feel?
Um, it's just part of my life.
Okay.
It's just part of my life. It's like it's so interesting because like people's normal work schedule is not my normal work schedule. People come to dance classes in the evenings.
Right.
On the weekends, massage and dance is when people aren't working. So when people aren't working, it's when I work.
Yeah.
Like people's vacations, I'm working. People's
Right.
evenings, I'm working. People's weekends, I'm working.
Okay.
So my schedule is like, okay, who wants to go for a run with me or go get lunch with me? Not necessarily dinner or nights out or like weekend stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. What about your phone? Like, the reason I ask is because it's something that I've encountered when I first like started off, and even today, where my phone was just nonstop, and it's just that you're just sick of it. You can't even take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're doing other things, and you're just like I've always had this sentiment where like, man, I can't wait till the day where I get to burn my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, Talk to me
I
about that. How does?
I use the do not disturb option
Okay.
often. Um, and I I know for me, there used to be a sense of urgency of like, oh, I have to respond immediately. And now it's not that.
Right.
Like it's like, okay, let me actually turn my phone off and put it away. I do plan hours of my day where there's no phone around me. I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. And it's fine. I actually love that energy of, okay, let me do this work all at once, but then like put it away.
Right.
And then when I get to it, like, how many missed messages? And then I'll tend to them, but then put the phone away. So I don't mind like blocks of time where it's committed to like phone stuff.
Right.
And then other times it's, no, I'm going to go
Okay. Ooh,
for
I like
a
that.
run and
Yeah.
do not disturb. Nap time. Do not disturb. Nap times are important to me.
Yeah.
Like that's scheduled into my day.
Like you kind of discipline yourself basically when it comes to your phone time. I like
think,
that.
yeah, I've had to,
Okay.
for sure. And even like with Instagram time, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. It can definitely be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
What about, these live classes? Something that I've noticed is your energy. And I think maybe the reason why you're able to go ahead and run on, so many continuous days is because, like you mentioned, it's the vibe. I feel like you get what you give, and you give, like, it's a very positive environment where there's not a lot of people kind of, judging. It's a judgment-free zone, basically.
Yeah.
How do you keep that, or how do you continue that? Because not all people are like that.
Mm-mm.
So it's like, I'm pretty sure you've had, the one off or maybe two offs or three offs that, show up and kind of try to change the dynamic of the vibe.
Oh, like a student in class?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why
I mean, student, whatever. Like, yeah.
Or myself. No, like I come in. This is why, if I know like I'm having a difficult day, and I intentionally come in. I come in early. No, I don't come into class early. Like I sit in my car and I breathe and I meditate and I like come back to a grounded, centered position, because I have to go and not give people a show. I give people me and authentic me, even if I show up and I'm like, I'm kind of pissed off right now, but let's dance through this. Like, I will share that. I'm not just going to fake like, I'm completely authentic in everything I do. So, the vibe I love the vibe of the students in the class. Like, it's very familial, very friendly and kind and patient. That's what I need. I don't know if I've told you in class, but like my number one rule is no egos and no assholes.
Right.
And I will get rid of people. I've kicked people out of class, but also that's why I make sure that everyone connects with me before coming to class. You can't just drop in. You can't just sign up on a registration online. Like, you connect with me individually, so I feel you out. I know who you are. I know your name. So if you're like talking over people in the back, I can call you. Hey, Freddie, pay attention.
You're like, get out of here.
Yeah. And yeah, so it could be, I like to have control over the class and know what's going on and who is in class.
Right.
And like, the energy should still be positive for everybody.
Man.
Yeah, for everybody.
Yeah.
It's got to be a safe learning environment for every single person in there.
So it's like,
And including me.
Yeah.
Like, priority is me. How am I feeling? Is this person going to bring me down? Is this person going to suck out my energy? That way I have to only focus on him? Or can I disperse it and like let it flow through the class and not be like pissed off at this one guy?
right. And I'm assuming the reason you do that is because if for any reason it could potentially affect your authenticity, then it affecting your authenticity could, disturb or disrupt your way of teaching and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can always come back to teaching like that. I'm good at refocusing for sure. I can deal with this separately and then refocus if I need to, but I shouldn't have to waste energy on that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like it's safe to say that you'd rather go ahead and have a good connection than, I guess, profit off of
Absolutely.
basically, like a class.
Yeah, but also every person in the class is meaningful to me. Like,
Yeah.
as we rotate, I'm going to connect with you. I want to know your dog's name. I want to know when you're going on vacation. I want to know why your boss pissed you off. I want to know your connections, your relationships, who you are. You're not just a number and a dollar to me.
Right.
Yeah. 'Cause I wouldn't want that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and this is absolutely why
Yeah.
I left the U of A to go to massage school. It's like I needed a small familial learning environment, rather than just a number in a large auditorium full of 200 people in my class. Yeah. So that's where the massage came in. Yeah, I was at the U of A studying nutrition. I went there for a year, and then I was like, this is not for me. Like, I can't just float amongst 30,000 other people. Like, I want a small, intimate setting, and that's what massage school was for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you had to go ahead and pick one out of massage, what is it, breath work, and dancing, you only could pick one, which one would you stick to?
I've been asked this a lot because I've eliminated a lot of other things I used to do, like dog sitting, dog walking. I worked as in the meat department at Whole Foods because I was like, I wanted to learn butchery.
I don't know if I should be nervous. I just want to cut some limbs off.
I used to do meal prep for a lot of people. For my gym, I used to coach CrossFit. So I was doing tons of things during the day.
Yeah.
So I got that down to the 3 main things I love to do. But also I don't see it as like I need to only do this because all of it is incorporated into this umbrella of like joy and health.
Yeah.
Like there's a spiritual aspect to everything I bring, and all 3 of these are important to me. And a lot of people who are part of my dance and everything else, they come for dance, they come for breathwork, they come for massage. So that all of that's part of their wellness journey.
Right.
It's not just I'm learning the skill of dance. It's like, oh, like I'm learning how to release tension from my body.
Right.
I'm learning how to be present in my body and in my breath. So that's so if you say one thing, I say these 3 things are part of that one thing.
Okay.
So there's nothing of that I would eliminate. I've already gotten rid of all the extras.
Yeah. So kind of on that note, one of the cool things that you did was, I think it was the last bachata class that I went to, you did this little exercise when it came to breath work. And it was definitely something that relieved a lot of stress. What is like a quick little ritual that you could give off to like people listening on how to go ahead and kind of, I don't know, relieve some stress when it comes to breath work, like a quick little exercise?
Well, what I did in that class is I sat people down and we just connected to a breathing pattern for only like maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But for some people, that was the very first conscious breath they took all day or all week. But remember, we're not just learning this as individuals. Like I'm connecting with you as a human being.
Right.
So my stress is going to be emitted to you as my partner. Right. So I need to come into class and release that traffic stress, release that work stress, release that life stress before I connect with you as a human.
Okay.
So that's extremely necessary for me because, yeah, I might have been stressed on the road or a life situation, but coming into where this is a safe environment for everybody and letting that go.
Yeah.
So what I did, I believe what I did that day, I know it switches each time. We did an inhale for 4 counts and an exhale for 8 counts. So typically that cadence of a longer exhale compared to a shorter inhale is a little softer on the nervous system. It brings you back into this calm, relaxed, present state instead of like overactive mind, overactive just thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever heard of the Wim Hof method?
Yeah, I've practiced Wim Hof a bit.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think for performance, it was definitely beneficial. It's especially I love the holding at the top and the bottom of the breath.
Right.
And I feel that has definitely helped me in performance, like physical performance, whether it's lifting or running. I would do a practice in like a physical situation where the type of breath work I teach now, I facilitate now, that's like my whole weekend after I leave you.
Yeah.
I've got a couple one-on-one breathwork sessions, which I think for me has been like the most transformative healing for myself and seeing people through this. Because I see people in transformation in dance class, in massage, but breathwork has been like the most potent practice that I've guided people through. That is more of a, similar to Wim Hof, and like it is an active breath, but it tends to bring up sensations and emotions that are like just stuck in your body. Like for me, I know okay. talk therapy and like having a conversation or like therapy session or counseling session is not going to get to the depths of what I need. Like my body holds stuff. Like my cells know when it's stress and I need to get that out. And sometimes I can't even understand what's going on, but there's something in my body that needs to let go. So that's where that breathing pattern comes in. That's where that expression of release through the body is helpful, because there's a lot of people who like aren't going to share their problems with people,
Right.
but they can at least let that out of them, out of their body.
Man, have you had anybody like what are some emotions expressed that you've noticed where you're like
Everything. Everything. I know for
crying?
me, I initially found it because um, I knew there was a lot of anger and sadness that I never addressed. Because for me, I was like positive, happy, like this. I had to maintain that persona because I felt like it was bad to show anger. It was bad to show sadness, or I knew there was sadness, but I didn't know like when it would end. Like if I started crying or release sadness, like is there an end to this, or I'm going to be sad forever,
Right.
right? So when I said yes to become a surrogate for somebody, so I knew that I had to get rid of my shit before I could be a healthy space to grow a human.
Oh dang.
So it's like I didn't want my anger, I didn't want my sadness to be floating around in my body, like developing this child. I needed to get rid of that because this priority was like joy, happiness, healing, positivity. That's what I wanted for the baby.
Whoa, that's great.
So that's when I found breath work, and I was like, this is really super potent. Like it allowed me to um, experience the full landscape of my emotions in a safe environment where I could like feel it and let it go instead of holding on to it.
Okay. Now kind of backtracking a little bit, when it comes to your marketing, what I guess what is your tactic? Even if you, let's say you don't have like something specifically like outlined, but I mean whether it be right now or previously, because that's a big jump. You know, you're super reliant on your own hustle, basically. You know, and I think we've like had this conversation before. To me, that's just like that makes me panic. That gives me anxiety itself. It's
Well,
like
for me, there
wow.
is no plan. The plan is
There is no plan.
the plan is for me to be authentically who I am, to not hide any part of me, because even if you see on my Instagram, it's not a business Instagram. It's like, this is Summer.
Right.
You choose all of me or you don't choose any of me.
Okay.
So it's all word of mouth of like, and I'm at the point where I don't have to do anything. Like I've got people contacting me from friends of friends of friends because they
Right.
want to share this. But also I have people who like, I'm not going to tell anybody about Summer because I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't trust you in our space. Like people are super protective of my space, and I love that.
Yeah.
Um, and that's really it. My marketing plan is to just be me and be accepted as me, and that's it.
Just be authentic, basically.
Yeah. So it's not like I go out and have advertisements, or I go out and market and like set up, like put flyers on cars,
Right,
or like
right.
hand out business cards. Like you're going to find me, I'm going to find you.
Right.
Like you're going to find me as like my soul connected client and student. You're going to find me.
Okay. Dang, I like that perspective. It's cool. It's
And
cool. It's just not
it's
the one I
it's not
have.
typical. It's not typical.
Yeah, it
No.
definitely is different. Different for sure. What about role models? Do you have any role models that you look up to, whether it be breath work, salsa, or dance,
Um,
or just in life? You know, like myself.
I love your passion. I love that you just have an idea and you go for it without restraint and without hesitation. So yes, I could add you on that list.
I know it.
um, you know, like yes, there's people I follow or I admire, but I can't really point out. Like I can't even like specify names. It's like I see what they do, and not that I want to emulate it, but I love their energy. I love their authenticity, and that's just what I want to bring. So it's like it's expansive to me of like seeing it,
Right.
um, of like, oh, it is possible. Like I see it happening, and it's all possible. Like there isn't any. I don't open my eyes to comparison or competition or like jealousy. there might be an envy in a way, like, oh, like I want to do that too.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay. What about so you're telling me you've never ever had competition? You've never felt like you've never had like a competitive state yourself?
I think naturally, as me, as like an Aries, like I want to be the best.
Yeah.
But now it's like not so much like I wanted to be the best compared to everybody else. It's like I just want to be the best of who I am every day.
Right.
So like it maybe as if I in like my younger years it could have been like better then, but now it's like the best of me. So it really doesn't bother me.
So what do you do to ensure that, I mean, you are the best of you on a daily basis? What are some rituals or some habits that you've owned throughout the years?
I think there's a blend and a balance of like absolute devotion and discipline. Like to for me to be the best and give the best service, I have to be in best service to myself. It's like I'm not going to overwork. I'm not going to do things I don't want to do.
Right.
I have to be completely full of energy and presence to give to my classes, right? So I'm not going to go. I'm not going to do 6 massages in a row and then go teach a dance class because I will be depleted. I've already given everything of me.
Right.
So like first priority is like I'm gonna do my meditation. I'm gonna do my movement. Movement could be go. I'm gonna go out and like take a walk or go running for 6 miles in the desert, and just me and the rabbits.
Yeah.
Like that's my self care is prioritizing me feeling good completely. That way I have a full energy to give to others.
Right.
Like that's where the vibe, because you can see like snooty, snobby dancers who only dance with each other, and you can see like how open or closed off the community is. So I think if I was going to start from nothing, it would be dance to start off with. With massage and breath work, like I wouldn't know people, I wouldn't know the clientele. Okay. Where dance, you can immediately get to know somebody. You just go out on a Friday night.
Right.
You go out to a club Friday night.
Is that kind of how it is like right now for you when it comes to, I guess you could say, like getting new customers or like meeting people? Is it more dance focused, and then from dance, like the people that you meet from dance, then it's like, hey, like kind of introduce
I think
other services?
Dance, I feel like dance is the easiest way to get in connection with me.
Yeah. Okay.
Massage, you're unclothed and I'm touching your body.
Ew.
No, but like there's a vulnerability to that.
Right.
Plus dance, you might pay $12 to $20. Where massage, you're paying $90 to $120.
Okay.
Just like an easier route to like get a
To
taste
get,
of
yeah.
something.
Okay.
Breath work is so like you've got to be mentally, spiritually, emotionally prepared for this because you like that. I think is the hardest. Not sale, but it's this. Could I say scariest? Maybe. I think dance. Okay, it's acceptable. You're learning a new skill. It could be like a movement. Could be seen as just like an athletic thing, where massage, physical touch on the body, skin to skin, a little bit more intimate.
Right.
Breath work, you're exposing a depth of your emotions and your being in a safe place, yes.
Right.
But that takes much more work than stepping into a dance class.
Yeah.
So like for people to get involved with me, it'd be like, okay, dance, simple, seemingly just fun. Massage, a little bit more intimacy, a little bit more vulnerability. Ultimate intimacy, ultimate vulnerability with breathwork.
It's like stages, basically. How did you figure out your pricing point? Like, how would you figure out your pricing point in that scenario, hypothetically?
Pricing has been a thing for me of like, can I charge that? Will people pay that? To like, oh, I can easily charge that and I can easily charge more. For me, it was like, would I pay that? I feel I'm absolutely worth it, possibly even more. But here is like, I want to be accessible to everybody. And I know paying for a $90 to $100 an hour lesson is not accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
But here's the great thing. Here's like, massage, breath work, all that can be seen as like a luxury, or a massage especially, like a luxury of like who has the money to pay for an hour of quiet time.
Yeah.
But also, here's what I'm thinking. It's like a lot of my students and people involved with me have gifted people sessions, whether it's massage or dance, or like there's accumulation of money to support other people.
Okay, okay. Kind of paying it forward,
Yeah,
basically.
paying it forward, exactly. Because
Yeah.
I know when I started massage, or when I started massage, used to go get student massages for $20. When I started dancing, I used to go to $5 dance class, $5 yoga classes. Like $5 classes really pretty much saved my life. Like that directed me to this place of wellness and like security in myself, of learning new skills and joy. So I want to bring that to people, but also I want to be well paid for what I do.
Yeah.
So also, I know how I support people and how I support people in their community. People who can afford the massage and come for the hour massage, who are they interacting with? They're going home. They're softer. They're kinder. They're more joyful. They feel better when they go to their family.
Right.
When they go interact with the cashier at the grocery store. So I am, in effect, benefiting the world and their community around them when they're in a good spot. So yes, maybe not everybody can afford my services, but how I affect you and how you go on your day, that affects the world around you, around them.
I mean, and just them in general, because I think one of the biggest factors of disease is stress.
Yeah,
So.
and them in general, exactly. But also, a lot of my clients are wellness practitioners. They're doctors. They are social workers. So when they feel less stressed and able to handle their work and their life, they can be kinder to the people they're working with. They can be friendlier to the people. They can be more helpful. They can come to this patient and listen deeply, and they felt listened to. Like this spreads beyond just the massage table.
Yeah. So have you ever encountered a situation where someone asks you, hey, or doesn't pay for the classes? I mean, they'll take the class, but then just doesn't pay.
Not really.
No.
I've had some people, like some random guy, be like, let me get a free class. I'm like, my friends value what I do. My friends pay me well.
Wait, talk to
They
me.
don't expect
Talk to me more in detail. What happened or what? Hey, that takes some courage. Like, I'm just saying, man. Yo, bro.
First of all, if you can't afford $12, why are you even talking to me?
I mean, what happened or what? How did he know about the lessons that you
My
offered?
classes, blah blah blah. Like just like.
And how did he get so comfortable where he was just like, you know what? Let me take a free class.
I don't even know. A free class? Well, here's the thing. No, like people off. Yeah, I understand that. First lesson free. First whatever free. Blah 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 free. I'm not there to make my groups be 50 to 100 people in class.
Okay.
Like I want the intimacy. I want you are paid for you. First of all, I will gift you a massage. Other people might collaborate to create funds to gift people massages or dance lessons. That's what I'm saying. Dance lessons. Yes. Because I know your situation. I maybe know you're in between jobs. I know you're struggling with whatever. I know you just need this for your own like self-care and joy. But it does take, for me, it does take some initiative for somebody to come into my class. And that can be a fee. That can be, we're connecting. I want to know who you are. Like, I don't need to give away stuff.
Right.
And I'm not going to give away stuff.
Yeah. I mean, let's say if it hasn't happened already, what would your response be to, let's say, like me, hey, Summer, I need to take 2 free classes.
You need to take 2 free classes?
I need to take 2 free
How
classes.
About
You
Summer?
don't know me
I'm
at
going
all.
through this situation, and I really love your classes, and I need to miss
I'm
out.
not really going through a situation, though. I just want 2 free classes. What would you say? I mean, how do you handle that?
Well, that's not gonna happen. Like, yeah, it might happen, but I'm like, do I even know you? Like, first of all, the people I know would not even say that. Give me 2 free classes. I deserve 2 free classes. Do
Yeah.
you? How about there's an instruction video? How about YouTube? How about like,
Okay. So, because I know this is something that, and I don't think I've put it up. I think I've edited it for a couple. But during the interviews, I think that's one of the biggest issues. Just like learning and having that assertiveness of when to charge and when to say, "Hey, you know what? I know we've known each other for a while, but when it comes to like my services, or my expectation is this amount."
okay.
Like, what advice do you have for them?
I just have a different experience in that I have really great people, knowledgeable people that are close friends, and I pay them for their knowledge.
Right.
I pay them for their expertise, even though we've been friends for decades.
Yeah.
Like, I honor them. They've got families. They need, like, an hour of their time is precious to them, but also to me.
Okay.
Like, here's my thing. Like, I want to make money, so I can put $100 on that tip line for somebody who gave me a great service at a restaurant.
Okay.
I want to pay my friends well because they're important to me, but also they are good experts. They are experts at what they do. So it's hard for me to like just give away free stuff, and I don't know. I'm probably not even answering your question. This kind of directed me off to a different path, but
I like the perspective though, just kind of like what you mentioned. In a way, if you really think about it, it's not only now just affecting you as an individual, but now it affects everybody that you surround yourself with. Mm-hmm. Because if all of a sudden that starts to happen, it's like, well, and like you said, I can't really tip people that well, and now they're gonna be affected. The same thing when it comes to family members. Like, it's like, hey, well, things are kind of short, when it comes to business, so now I'm more stressed.
Yeah.
Now I'm more worried.
And I love to give.
Yeah.
I love to give. Like, once a month, I will hire a movement specialist for my students.
Okay.
They pay nothing. They just show up. If you want yoga, I've got the best yoga instructors, and I pay the yoga instructor well.
Right.
But everyone can come for free.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of generosity I want. It's like not just some random people wanting free classes. No, like, let me pay one expert and have everybody be in the presence of this expert.
Right.
Not just but you've got to have a relationship with me.
Yeah.
You're my current student. You're my client. You're my friend.
Okay. Dang. All right. Cool.
But yeah, I don't have a problem with saying, if I know your situation, I know you're struggling, I know you'd benefit from this. Like, I will absolutely give you classes.
Yeah.
But if I don't know you and you're coming with like a elitist demand of, not elitist, what I'm trying to say, entitled demand of like, you should give me something. Like,
right.
I deserve something, or like hand out, like, be a nice person and give me something for free. No, like, I'm sorry. I have energetic and monetary boundaries with myself and my business that I don't think that would even be an issue. I don't know.
I think for me, I feel people that like I've done business with before, it was a little more difficult just because I come from that background where it's like, hey, what's the homie discount? Like, it's like, oh, well, damn, bro. And then there's like a lot of emojis, like, what does it say? You pay full price for your Jordans, but you won't be able to pay full price to support your friend, who's, helped you out when it comes to certain things. But I think,
got the wrong friends.
Yeah, it's like, I think something that's helped me is the types of businesses that I get into. Like, mine are need-based businesses. Like, I don't have to worry about marketing. I don't have to worry about, extending to new people. Like, they need it. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of it has to do with the way you portray yourself as well, and I guess the people you interact with, like you mentioned.
Maybe it is. Like, I feel like vibrationally, you attract people who are on the same frequency. So maybe, like, if I'm attracting these people who are graspy and needy and like trying to take, like, what does that say about me?
Right.
Am I that person internally to be drawing these people to me?
Right.
That's why I feel like I wouldn't have that situation, or it would just be cut off immediately because like that's not the person I am.
Right.
But I'm not saying these instructors are like needy and like takey,
Yeah.
but like think about, okay, let's go back to dating.
Okay.
Who are the people you're attracting? You're attracting people who are similar to you.
You should be attracting people that are similar to you.
Also,
Isn't always the case.
Not
But.
always the case. But also, you say yes. You have the ability to say no. I think the most potent word is saying no. That's like saying no to the universe that like, hey, I don't want that.
Right.
So saying no will attract more of your yeses.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of like, okay, let me go on this date because I get a free meal, or let me go on this date and pretend to be friendly. Let me go on this date and make him feel good that he's in my presence. No, how about like be authentic? And
Ew.
like, I know, right? Gross. Seriously. So how about let me go on this date because I truly love our conversation, and let's see what happens from this, whether it's romantic or whether it's not. Like, I like this connection. I don't have to make a story about it.
Right.
I can just enjoy this hour or two with this person.
Yeah. Man.
Are we going off on a different? I don't even remember the original question. We're just having a
It's all
conversation.
good. I'm gonna edit it. It's gonna look amazing. All right.
You're like, ew.
What's another one? Yeah. Well, it's because I'm the type like. I want to be real. Like I'm the type. Especially when it comes to girl. Like, nah, you're the one. Like coming to me. Like, what's up? What can you do for me? I feel it's needed. I mean, there's a level of responsibility though. Like the guy needs to make sure like
Shit.
he's doing his stuff. All right, last question.
I think I'm hard to go to a movie with. This is me. I'm like moving.
I was gonna
being on
ask
the
too. Like, do you
chair.
even watch TV? Because you're so busy.
Rarely.
And like, what?
Really?
I guess what do you watch when you're?
I watch Love Is Blind on Netflix. It's just so entertaining. I don't know. I watched the Mindy Project. You know, I really don't. I'm about this. Next week, I'm gonna go see Sounds of Freedom.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna see it Tuesday, but I knew like emotionally I've got to be prepared. Whereas like I've got to go teach. I know my heart is super sensitive.
Yeah.
Maybe that's also why I don't have my own children's. Like, how do you live with your heart living outside your body?
Right.
That like a child is a big decision, but also watching a movie that's going to be heart wrenching is also a big decision for me.
I mean, for you. No.
Anyway.
No, like that's yeah. I was watching that. Are you like into conspiracy theories? But are they really conspiracy theories or are they actually facts? Like I'm all into that. Like, why is it that the Barbie movie, what is it, Oppenheimer, another one as well, and it's being promoted by AMC theaters like crazy. It's all over the media. Yet Sound of Freedom, not even a whisper.
I don't know what's going on.
I do though because I'm into like stocks and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so like
no,
any
it's
news
yeah.
will like make the market fluctuate,
Absolutely.
go up and down and
You
stuff
have to
like
know
that.
that.
So.
For me, I disconnect from. Not that I'm like oblivious to what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
But I think it's the balance I need because my former husband was very like politics was his sport.
Okay.
That like I needed to separate from hearing all this stuff all the time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't watch much TV. Maybe once a week. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Rarely. But yeah, I'd rather. Because I'm teaching till late.
Yeah.
And then like there's a lot of books I want to get into that I have purchased, but maybe I may get 1 or 2 or 3, 4 pages in and I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
Because like my days.
Jam packed, and it's very active too. Like, man, you're doing hours of just shh.
But like that's why I plan my naps.
Yeah.
And right now I've got dogs that are sick, so I've got to coordinate time with them. Like that's all planned. Somebody has to be at home at
Yeah.
all times.
Okay.
So like that's when I'm gonna do work.
All right, and let me ask you again because I don't know if I got it. How do you handle stress? You're like, damn it, Brian.
I how do I handle stress? I don't allow stress to like sit in me for a long period of time. Like I know this is the moment. Like, and this is where going back to the differences between you and I. Like my menstrual cycle determines how much stress I can handle.
Right.
So I know that the week before my period, I will have very limited schedule. I will sleep for hours. I won't go push myself at the gym if it's unnecessary. But the times where I do feel stress, I know I'm doing too much. I know I need to let something go, even for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's throw my phone across the room. Don't worry about it for the next hour. Let me, I need like priority. This is where the movement happens. It's like, I'm going to leave what I'm doing. I'm going to go across to the park and go for a walk.
Are you including anxiety with stress?
Oh.
Basically, how you deal with anxiety, or is it different for you?
Difference.
How do you deal with anxiety?
Anxiety is definitely, I've got to make sure I'm sleeping well. Definitely that's where the elimination of toxic substances, alcohol, drugs, all that is out. Because that enhances it. That makes everything worse.
Yeah.
Breathing, solitude, quiet, like really shutting down and like acknowledging, okay, what is this and what do I need to do? Maybe I need a nap. Maybe I need a hug. Maybe I need to cry. Maybe I need to go drive and scream in my car for a moment. Maybe I need a good meal.
Right.
You know, like what is it that I need? Because, yeah, I need to deal with it in that specific moment. If I let it go the next hour, I can't. Like that ruins my day.
Would you be able to walk me through the last anxiety attack you had?
Not necessarily attack. I think. Okay, let's go through this situation. Not really. I did a breathwork session with a group of women, full moon, 2 Mondays ago, and when they're processing lots of emotions, I tend to hold that. I tend to like. I know it's not mine, but I need some way to let it go. So when they're like, it's as if I feel their hurt, I feel their pain. So I need to, where in the past I'd be like, okay, how do I settle this? I'm like, okay, let me just go to a restaurant and have some wine and have some junk food or whatever.
Right.
But I knew like, okay, I need to get this out of me. Let me go for a drive. Let me cry. I don't know, are these my tears? No, they're not my tears. I need to yell. Is this my anger? No, it's not my anger. So I need to release that. Like this is why it's super important for me that I know who's coming to my classes.
Okay.
Because I am super energetically sensitive. That if you're angry, if you're mad, if you're an asshole, like I take that in. Like I feel that like 4 times deeper.
Is there a difference when you feel when you're dealing with a male and versus a female?
I don't know.
Or dealing with anxiety, do you feel like it's different or it's the same? Because just based off what you're saying, my interpretation is like, hell no. Like, I want to feel the stress. It's very important for me to have that stress and never let it out because it proves to me the burden that I can handle. And I want to be able to handle as much burden as possible.
I know the capacity that I can handle.
Right.
But I know I got to release it.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, I can deal with this for how long? And I'm not going to take it to that length where I'm burning out, where I can't give to myself, where I can't give to other people, where I'm unkind and impatient.
Yeah.
Like I know that's when I'm gonna stop what I'm doing. I don't care how important it is. I'm gonna go for a run and like get it all out of me. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna ask for a hug. Like I know I need to address it immediately right now, and then it just floats away, and then I can go on. But even as simple as like texting, sending my friend a voice memo of this is what's going. Okay, let me just get this out. Okay, it's done.
Right.
Go on. But I can't contain and hold that forever.
Yeah.
Because my job is to love and serve people. that when I'm filled with like this darkness, not necessarily darkness like evil, but like just like a cloud of like anxiety or like stress, I can't give completely.
Okay.
I
I don't know. I just feel it's different for men. Like, at least for me, like, it should. This is, again, hypothetically the way I see it. Because it's like, and then kind of going back to dating as well. Like, and being a good lead when it comes to just leading your household, whether it be like just anything else that you do. If you can't handle it, I mean, that's how you're going to learn. And I'm not like, and maybe it's an area of opportunity for men as well. It's like, I feel like, at least with my group, my inner group, my inner homies, like homie group, it's like, hey, like, don't be talking about that. Like, don't even bring up negativity stuff over here. You handle it like
However,
a man and
it's
you
there.
put your pants on.
However, it is there, and I think yes, talking about it is helpful, but when you talk about it over and over, and just keep the stories keep happening, then you're just maintaining it. You're maintaining a cycle. But I think for men, it's super important. This is where I feel like combat sport or gym sessions or running or some type of physical activity is extremely important for the masculine. Like, there has to be a sense of like, how do I release the stress in a physical way?
Right.
In a socially acceptable physical way. You're not just going to go punch someone.
Yeah.
But if you're in a setting, in a boxing class, in a Krav Maga class, in a at the gym, you're deadlifting, like, you need to have that physical outlet to disperse that like dense emotion. Yeah, and I think men do it more so physically, and maybe with some limited talking with your select group of close friends, but I don't think it should be, or I don't think it is like necessarily
healthy to box it all in.
Yeah, absolutely not. This is, I have men specific breathwork groups to allow men to like release this, and it's not always, it's sadness, it's anger, it's I've seen men through a lot.
Yeah.
Through addiction, through grief. Like, as a massage therapist, as a breathwork facilitator, I've had a man on my table crying because the day before he found out that his daughter was raped. You know, like, I've dealt with holding men through these really delicate situations.
Yeah.
That's why my work is, I love men and I love supporting men, and I am absolutely passionate about being a safe place for people to express and to release.
Okay.
Where maybe that's not the place. He might not have been able to release that or acknowledge that if he wasn't on my table.
Right. All right, Summer. So where can people get in contact with you to either take a class, do some breath work, or maybe even get a massage?
I just think it's funny. I feel like it's like this little speakeasy, like little secret handshake undercover. Like, oh, you know Summer? I know Summer. Do you know Summer? Oh, I know Summer.
Okay, cool. So it's an undercover handshake.
You can also follow me on Instagram.
You can also follow me on Instagram.
Yes, always. And you'll see all of who I am.
All right.
Nothing hidden.
You're like, yeah, we're like, awesome. Well, Summer, I really appreciate the insight. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.